Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Racing Bros NASCAR Podcast, episode 31. I'm here with my co-host, Brian. Brian, how are you doing today?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Not terrible. Nothing crazy happened this week. So, it's just like a normal week. I don't really have nothing to talk about. Like, did a race even happen this week? We'll get into it all of the stunning, absolute barn burner of Richmond. Excitement, 400 laps round. But, yeah. Richmond was this week. Second race in the round of 16. Playoff race. I did like all the 9/11 stuff they did, like with the American flags and the parade laps and shit like that. So that was pretty cool to see them honoring 20th anniversary of 9/11. Pretty cool to see all those American flags. There's a bunch of people in Richmond. I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, that was good to see. And now let's get into the race. So if you want to start us off, more than welcome to.
Alrighty. So before the race even started, Larson had his twice failed inspection. Ended up starting in the back. Truex, at the beginning of the race, passes Hamlin on the start finish. Gets a drive-through penalty for passing the leader. Then the 18 car had a pit road penalty with an equipment interference as his tire went into another box. And that was no fun. You could hear Kyle Busch complaining over the radio about that.
Well, of course.
all year is what he kept saying. Then Bubba was speeding out of the pit lane. He went to the rear.
He got it from his boss,
Yeah, true. And then the big one with Kurt Busch, a tire failure causing him to crash into the wall, and then that said tire comes off, not the entire tire, but the rubber.
Yeah, the carcass.
Yeah. It came off and was collected by Bubba Wallace, which luckily there wasn't that much damage. I mean, it was literally fixable in 2 seconds, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But Kurt Busch was out for the day. His car was completely wrecked.
Trash.
And then stage 1 winner, Denny Hamlin.
The Hammeister!
He's won what? That was almost... I think he's missed 2 stages in Richmond this year.
That was his 437th stage win of Denny Hamlin's career. So, good job, Denny Hamlin. Sweeping all the stages. Doesn't equate to, wins, though.
Indeed, yeah. He only has 1 this season, so...
Yeah. Because his car's 11, so he can only get 1 or 11 wins. Or
right.
If you want to do Roman numerals, then 2, because 1 + 1 = 2. Quick math right there.
There you go. Yeah. Go with that.
Mm-hmm. So, see, he can only get 1, 2 wins, or 11 wins. So, he already reached 1 milestone, but basically, Truex just started from the back. And because he had a penalty to start out with, because he passed Hamlin on the start, and that is a big no-no. You get a slap on the wrist, you got to drive through pit road. Then, that's where you start. And then he did that. And then, nice Sunday drive up there, 260 laps later. It was see ya, Hamlin, and then never look back. And then Truex won. It looked pretty much like the JGR show, because Hamlin was up there, Kyle Busch was up there for a lot of the race, and then Truex just came around and passed everyone. And then Christopher Bell was weird, he would run 12th or 13th or something, and then he would be oh yeah, now I'm top 5. So I guess JGR was got speed. Now are they the best team in NASCAR? But so Truex won that, and that was basically Richmond. I mean, it was not there's not a lot to go over. I mean, Eric Almirola had a loose wheel. Kyle Busch would have been probably in the top 5 as well, but he had a equipment, like something. What was it? Equipment?
The equipment interference.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even know that was a rule.
He didn't either.
Yeah, he's like, what? But and then Chase Elliott also looked like was probably the fastest Hendrick car, and he had trouble on pit road, so he slid through his box, but like he didn't. He thought he did, so he put in reverse, but the crew members were already on the right side of his car and jacking it up, and he just basically ran over the jack and broke it, and then caused some damage to his car, and they had to get a new jack. So super long pit stop, put him behind the 8 ball, but he rebounded for a top 5. But yeah, that was basically Richmond. I mean, just like long green flag runs, some passing, not a whole bunch. But now we get into the last race of round of 16. So before, like after this race, this is the point situation. Okay, so we're gonna go over the guys near the cut line. So Kyle Busch is 8 points above the cut line. Then we got Eric Almirola +3. Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman are tied right now, and they're tied, but Kurt Busch has the tiebreaker because he has a better finish than Alex Bowman had this round. So, and then Tyler Reddick is -5. William Byron ran terrible today. I don't know, like he was a 20th place car all day, finished 19th. I don't know why they were so off, but they were really off today. And then McDowell, basically in a must-win, 38 points back. So that's the cut line looking after Bristol. Kyle Busch probably wishes that he would be locked in, but he's also going to Bristol, his best track. So I'm sure he's not worried at all, especially with the speed Joe Gibbs Racing is showing right now. But that's kind of looking at the playoff cut line. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but now we get to rate the race. So what do you think, Brian? What is your rating for playoff Richmond?
To be honest, it was a pretty solid race. I mean, things happen that you would pretty much expect in motorsports. There was beating and banging at some points. Not much, but there was some. You had some pit lane failures, not only from the teams but the drivers. It happens. Honestly, I was probably just as impressed as last Richmond, so I gave it exactly what I had last Richmond, which is a 65.
Nice. Well, you should put you should add +4 to it. Just to
+4. Oh.
Yeah, just to make it real nice, Just
yeah, I gotcha.
Exceptionally nice. If you get my drift, a nice 68. I can count. But yeah, basically we gave the same score because I was texting Brian after the race. Yeah, I texted him yesterday, and it was just I gave it a 60 in the spring, and I'm like, I think this race is 60, and he was like, yeah, you rated it 60 last time, so I'm like, I can't rate it just a 60, So one +1 for the playoff atmosphere and the 9/11 tributes, so you get a nice +1. So it was a 61 out of 100. Fine race, good. I guess it just gets in the good category technically. Yeah, it was kind of chaotic at the beginning, and then did usual Richmond stuff.
Yeah, it simmered down a lot.
Yeah, so usual Richmond, fine. Short track, 750 package is the worst race is a lot better than the worst race of some other tracks. Texas, but yeah, so 61 out of 100. It was fine, good. No one is gonna remember this race at all. So, no, they'll remember the 9/11 tributes and stuff. Don't remember that part, but other than the race, like nothing notable happened.
Right.
Except for Kurt Busch just like losing his tire. So
Yeah, just ending his day.
so
This day.
if this helps, well, if this like hurts Kurt Busch in the playoffs, I'm sure his fans will just look back at it and be like just tears. But yeah, and then Brian picked Kurt Busch, so he got a big fat 37th place DNF. Sorry, Brian. Had to.
That's fine.
Yeah, you got only 1 point. Suck it.
That's fine.
Hey, 1 for 1. You know, Kurt Busch 1 point. Kurt Busch number 1 car. So
1 point. Gonna be 1 point ahead in the playoffs when next week's over.
well, I mean, I hope not. For biased, purposes.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean he could be 1 point on like Tyler Reddick, but that 48 car is in and good. That's fine. Kurt Busch can be 12th. We'll take a nice 11th. We'll be fine with 11th because it resets, and we got our 3 wins, so suck it. But yeah. Other than that, nothing really notable happened. Just kind of some playoff goofiness.
Other than I will say that I kind of wish Ross Chastain was in the playoffs because this was his race.
He's been really fast the last 2 weeks, so
yeah,
it's kind of good to see if you're a Ross Chastain fan, just seeing this like pure speed out of him because he's been running really well. Like Darlington got a podium. Look at me looking like a F1 enthusiast. Got a nice podium. And then I think he finished like 7th, but he ran like top 5. He should have probably been top 5. But yeah, he's been running really well. But now we go. You know what I just realized? Like talking about Kurt Busch, I think he's the only one this year to get max points, but then also get 1 point.
I think you're right.
Cause wait, did Atlanta he get max points or did he get 59? I can't remember. I should look at my phone. But all right, so I
might be able to tell you in a minute.
Okay, so we're just gonna stall until then. But yeah, cause it's either 59 or 60. I can't remember if he got max points. Cause that was the race. What?
Oh wait. You said Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Kyle Busch won at Atlanta.
Kyle Busch did not win at Atlanta.
Hold on, this is messed up.
Yeah, Kurt Busch.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, Kurt Busch won. It should be the latest Atlanta race.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, wait. Oh, wait, no, this is the old one. This website is very, very poor. I'm just going to use Google.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
There we go. He got 59. So he was 1 point off.
Yeah, I was like, it was either 59 or 60. So I could not remember how much it was. So I wonder if he's like the first driver ever to get basically max points and then like 1 point. In like with this like setup, like it's
if you combine that race and this race, he had a perfect race.
Yeah, see, I picked him when he got the 59, and then you picked him when he got the 1. So like, good job contributing, Brian, to our.
Yeah, cause. We got him a perfect race.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, enough goofing around. We'll go to our questions. Question 1: Is Hendrick still the favorite for the title? With being fast all year, or now is it JGR's to lose? I think Hendrick peaked too early, to be honest. They have not been. I mean, they've still been fast. They're not like slow. I mean, they've still been pretty fast, but we have not seen a dominant race out of HMS since I think Nashville, when Kyle Larson led basically every lap. Yeah, I think HMS has just peaked a little too early. So they're probably like the second best team. But I think it's kind of Joe Gibbs' championship to lose right now. Because last week with the 750 horsepower package, Hamlin won, and then this week Richmond, which is kind of similar to Phoenix. Short tracks, 750 package. Yeah, they were pretty dominant this week. So I think it's kind of JGR's to lose, to be honest.
I would argue. Well, actually, I mean I agree, but I would argue that Hendrick has probably their best driver of the year still far ahead in the playoffs. I mean, he's third right now because he doesn't have a win, right? But Kyle Larson is without a doubt into the next round, and he's still technically the fastest driver they have right now. So mainly what it's going to come down to is, I guess you either get all 4 drivers in, or if you get 3 or 2, are they fast enough to win it all? But Joe Gibbs is kind of coming straight out the gate in the playoffs, and they're like, this is what we want. We wanted to, pull off the whole year, even though they didn't, and show up when it really counts. So I do agree it is Joe Gibbs to lose as of right now.
Right. Now we go to question 2 about Hendrick again. Will both Hendrick drivers below the cut line make it above this weekend? So for context, Bowman is tied currently with Kurt Busch for the 12th playoff spot, but tiebreaker, Kurt Busch had the better finish this round, so he is currently in while Bowman is out. And William Byron is farther back. He is minus 18 points. So, I mean, still can get it done, but kind of take, some good stages. Great finish, top 5 at least. So, yeah, do you think both Hendrick drivers below the cut line make it above this weekend? William Byron's been pretty consistent all year, so it's kind of weird to see these last 2 weeks. I mean, Richmond, he was just slow. And Darlington, cut tire. But I think, I want to say the homer in me, I think Alex Bowman can make it in with Bristol. I mean, it's not his best track, but I trust Hendrick's speed pretty much. For who he knocks out, I think he can get to Almirola because he's only 3 points back of Almirola. So I would say Alex Bowman makes it above the cut line, and William Byron does not. So just one.
I don't think that's a bad take. I feel like at this point, Alex Bowman can make it. I mean, if he doesn't, I would be surprised. William Byron, on the other hand, I just kind of feel like he needs a miracle, because not only does he need to pass up, Kurt Busch and Eric Almirola, but he also has to pass up Tyler Reddick in the same breath. Mm-hmm. So he has a lot that he has to do and able just to get into the next round of the playoffs. Whereas Bowman, well, he's tied for the cut line, and then he's 3 points behind somebody else, and then 8 points behind the next. So for him, it's not as hard. Mm-hmm. But I think so I agree with you. I think for Bowman it's possible. For Byron, it's gonna take a little extra.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs great stages and a playoff driver to have trouble, which could happen. But
and I'm surprised to see Tyler Reddick out there too. He's been running really well all year.
Yeah, he has not had the speed I thought he would have these playoffs. So I don't know. It's going to be must watch on Saturday night for Bristol.
Yeah.
But now we're going to go over some news. So, some Dallas Cowboy news. DeMarcus Lawrence suffered a broken foot in practice, and he is out indefinitely. So, personal, I know this is not NASCAR. I'm a big Cowboys fan. You can meme the fuck out of me, I don't care. But our best defensive player broke his foot in practice, so good job. Poverty franchise, here we come. 7-9-1. Let's go. Yeah, so the Chargers are now going to score 55 points on us. So can't wait for that. Sorry, I just saw it on Twitter. So kind of salty right now. I know it's not NASCAR news, but whatever. So, yay. Now we go to Cup Series news. I'm leaving that in, by the way. You know.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Totally getting left in. But now we go over some Cup Series news. So, just pretty much about the Cup Series schedule. So, I'm going to go and pull it up here. I had it up, but did I take it down? Cause yes, I did. Because I was looking at Twitter. Because for my NFL love team. Alright, so we pulled it up. It should be on YouTube right now if you guys want to check it out. Or you could just look it up yourselves. I know it's probably, should I probably zoom in? I can't, of course. Alright, anyways. Or wait, can I get a better? Oh no, don't look at my Twitter. He was in our DMs. I think I can get a better photo to pull up. Let's pull up this one. This one reads better. Alrighty, here we go. Make this one, my picture smaller. Alright, so we start off the Clash at LA Memorial Coliseum. So NASCAR is going to be racing at the Coliseum. That's pretty cool. It's been rumored for like about a couple weeks now, but now it's confirmed. They're going to make quarter mile like paved like racetrack, so it's going to be a nice little short track. That's going to be interesting to kind of watch and see, you know. They are bringing the next gen cars to that. So pretty much a quarter mile short track. Lots of beating and banging. They're going to bring the next gen car out. I think they should have brought the Gen 6 car, to be honest, so they could just like go at it, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see NASCAR at the Coliseum. I did not expect that ever. So that's going to be pretty cool to see, you know. Kind of a risk to put it, but you know, if you're going to do it at, you know, a random racetrack, might as well do it at the Clash, because you know, you can take more risk like that and stuff, because it's an exhibition race, like who cares. So right. The Clash, it's going to be pretty cool to see, you know, next gen at the Coliseum. And now then the duels are Thursday, February 17th, so how it usually is, and then Daytona 500, February 20th, and then after that we go to Auto Club. So Auto Club makes its return back onto the schedule. Nice to see Auto Club back before they turn into a short track. So we will see the next gen at current Auto Club configuration with all the bumps and stuff. Fast track. Then we go to Las Vegas, Phoenix, Atlanta. First real second change. First one of like the regular season points paying races. Coda returns, but now it's in March, so it's part of the West Coast swing. They bring Coda with all that, which would be pretty cool to see. Like end of March, I think that probably be a better time for Coda and stuff. Hopefully, you know, the rain holds off than last year. So it makes a return back. And then after Coda, we go Richmond, Martinsville. Martinsville's on Saturday night, so that's our first night race. And then Bristol Dirt is making a comeback. But that will be on Easter. So that's going to be an Easter primetime night race. I don't know how that will do personally, because you know, a lot of people getting their families together, whatever you do on Easter and stuff. I don't know if a lot of people's like, let's watch the NASCAR race on Easter. So
Yeah, it's going to be the big argument: the race or your family.
Well, yeah. I mean, like other sports, like NBA plays on Christmas Day and stuff like that. So, I
Right.
mean, if they're racing on Easter, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But kind of interesting to see. We haven't raced on Easter in like decades at least. Typically, that's a off week for us, but now we go to Bristol Dirt, and then after Bristol Dirt, Talladega, Dover, Darlington, Kansas. Then, like the week before the Coke 600, the All Star race returns to Texas. Take that as you will. At least we don't have another 500-mile lap race at Texas, a points-paying race. So that's good that it could just be on the All-Star race. Then we have the Coke 600, and then a new change. We got Gateway. So we got a new track coming to the Cup Series. Gateway gets a Cup Series race. It takes one of the Pocono dates away. And then after that, we go to Sonoma. Then we have one off week this year. So it's been a lot of people in like the industry and stuff has been pretty pissed about that, which I don't blame them. I mean, they have to do all these like weeks in a row and stuff. I mean, the drivers would be pretty much used to it, but like people in the industry, like photographers or like people that work on teams and stuff, are like doing all that travel and stuff. That sucks, kind of. Just like one off week, to be with your families and stuff. I know there's like a lot of people that be like, well, you work in NASCAR, just quit NASCAR if you can't do that. Well, I mean, it's easier said than done. People can complain about their jobs even if they love it. I can see, both sides. I feel bad for those people. But then after that off week, we go turn for Nashville Super Speedway, and that will start the NBC portion of the schedule. Then we get Road America, July 4th weekend. Again, that returns. Go to Atlanta, New Hampshire. One Pocono race. I think there's been 2 Pocono races since like the 80s or something. So it's kind of weird just to have one Pocono race. Then we return to Indy Road Course. Another speculation has IMS wants NASCAR to kind of return to the oval as well. So they've been talking about a return to the oval. They might, do it. They might not. They might alternate dates. That'd be pretty interesting to see, an alternate date. Like this year we do the Indy Road Course, and then maybe next year we do the oval, and vice versa. That would be pretty cool. Kind of change of pace. Then we go to Michigan, and then Richmond gets bumped out the playoffs, actually. So Richmond is going to be in August. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Hot, slick Richmond track. It's going to be tough for grip and stuff like that. So that would be pretty interesting to see. And then we go to Watkins Glen, and then Daytona finishes off the regular season. Daytona as a regular season finale is brilliant. Love it. Chef's kiss. With this kind of format that they make Daytona the final the final regular season race. All for it, because might as well get as crazy as you want. But then round of 16. So it starts off with Darlington, and now Kansas is in the round of 16. So we got Darlington, Kansas, and then Bristol night race closes out the round of 16, just like this year. Round of 12. Texas got moved up. It is the starting race of round 12. I kind of like that instead of like being towards the end of the season. Round of 12, that's fine right there. Talladega, so we got a super speedway, 1.5 miles, and then we got a road course in the Charlotte Roval. That ends round 12. And then round of 8. This is such a chef's kiss kind of round, because Vegas last couple of years has been a pretty good track for these cars and stuff like that. Been putting on some really good races. So we got Vegas to start a round of 8. Then we have Homestead returning. Yes, you heard it here first. Well, you probably didn't, but Homestead is going to return to the playoffs. If only like it can get moved down a couple races, like to the championship 4, that would be even better. But Homestead is back in the playoffs, and then Martinsville closes the round of 8, and then championship 4 is at Phoenix. So not as much changes as the 2020 schedule, kind of, or the 2021 schedule. Kind of had all those road courses. We actually lost a road course with no Daytona road course, but that was kind of a filler. So I think we're good with that. Excuse me, with those 6 road courses. I think that's a good number to have. Gateway should be pretty interesting. It kind of races like a short track, but it's not a short track. So that could be interesting to see with next gen. Then we got Homestead in the playoffs. That is always good. Love Homestead. Homestead is great. I wish every track was kind of like Homestead, but we'll take the one for now. I like the condensed schedule. Me personally as a fan, end of first week of November, kind of shorten down the schedule. But I think the biggest risk, to be honest, is probably the Coliseum. I think the Cup Clash. So we'll see how that goes. I have no idea how it's going to race. It's the first time we're going to see the next gen cars. So it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be, should get a lot of notice, especially in the LA market. Hopefully a lot of people show up. Yeah, that'll be the first time we see the next gen cars in the Coliseum. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest risk. Brian, do you have anything to say about the schedule? Do you have any thoughts? Do you like it? Do you think they should have added something? What say you, sir?
I honestly like it. I mean, you're adding 2 new tracks, one being the Clash, one being later in the schedule, and then you remove some dates, but then you kind of move around everything to make it kind of, I don't want to say even, but it's making it more fluent, I suppose. And I don't know, it just seems like it's going to be a really nice schedule for next year. Even more so that the playoff races seem like they're going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Especially like you said, Homestead. Homestead will be fun. We had a great time with that this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see just Homestead with these. I just can't wait to see these cars. How do they race? I cannot wait for February 6th to watch the fucking Clash.
Right. Another thing that's going to be interesting though is, like you said, the no second Pocono. So there's no redemption tricky triangle anymore.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Just one Pocono race. I think Pocono is kind of quirky. It's not like a typical mile and a half. It's a 2.5 mile triangle. So it's kind of quirky. Pocono has had some duds recently as well. It's not the most exciting track, but I kind of like the 2 Pocono dates. I would rather take a date from Atlanta, but Atlanta's going to have that new configuration, so we got to see how that races before we even go with it. I also I think a super underrated thing is COTA, in the early part of the season. I don't know why, but I really enjoy having COTA early in the year, because we had the Daytona road course. For the longest time, we had no road courses until Sonoma in June. And I know last year we had Daytona road course right after the 500 in February, but I kind of like the COTA in March. It gives we get some super speedway action. We see how the cars race in that. Then we get the mile and a halves. Then we get the shorter tracks, a flat track like Phoenix. So we're okay, how does it race there? And then even early in the season, we get the road course. What it pretty much looked like it's built for the road courses. Like, we see an early glimpse of that. We're like, okay, a race is good, or, this is how it races at the road courses. And then we get short tracks like Richmond and Martinsville. We're like, okay, it races like that, And then Bristol dirt. Like, how the fuck are these going to race on dirt? Like, I don't think we understated that at all. Like, imagine the next gen, like, all the fucking technology went, like, into it. And then we're like, hey, we're going to race it on dirt. On Easter. Like, what is that going to be like? How are these cars going to look for dirt Bristol, It's also going to be a night race because dirt races better at night. Dirt races have to be at night so you can see, so not all that dust. So I think that's good for the fans as well. But it's just crazy to me that we're getting so many like different tastes like early in the season, like how these cars are gonna race like on these certain types of tracks. Like we get the super speedways, we get the flat track, we get the 1.5 miles, then we get the road course, and then we get the short tracks, and then we get the freaking dirt race, man. It's gonna be wild. Like these first couple months to see how those cars actually in action, So I think that's a big benefit for us because I did want a road course early in the season because these cars are pretty much like built for the road courses, and to have COTA, pretty technical track with like this new car is going to be pretty cool to see, to see how this car reacts than, the previous car and stuff like that. So
yeah, and the only thing that worries me about COTA is, it's 7 days into spring, and of course we know how much potential the track has. I just don't want to see a downfall.
Yeah. So
it's a great track. It's fantastic. I love the track, but
I just hope we avoid that mess. But if it also rains, that could be pretty interesting as well to see how these cars do in the rain. Because I think they have wider tires or something. Like they have a wider patch of tire that actually hits asphalt. So I guess, technically they would have more grip while in rain situations. And I'm sure they built some situations like when we have rain. They also built like the car up from it because when Gen 6 preview, we didn't really race in the rain with like the Cup Series, so they probably took some of that in effect with this car. So it's gonna be definitely interesting to see. It's gonna be exciting. I cannot wait for next season, but we have to finish this season off first because we are in the heat of a playoff battle. So with that, now we move on to Bristol. The night race at Bristol, kind of people looked at it as a crown jewel recently, more of a crown jewel. The night race at Bristol, big event by itself. You could have it in freaking April and people be going crazy for it, but it's the last race of the round of 16. A lot of guys fighting for those last spots in the playoffs. A lot of guys that are on the cut line have a good record at Bristol. Kurt Busch has 6 wins. Kyle Busch has a number of wins. I think Kyle Busch is an active leader in wins at Bristol. Like the active racer at Bristol. Eric Almirola always seems to have a solid car at Bristol. Tyler Reddick has shown, speed this year. So it's going to be interesting, definitely, to see it on Saturday night. If there's, any reason you're holding back on not watching a night race at Bristol, you're insane. But this even gives you more of, kind of entice you to watch this more. But I can't. Bristol's just such a nice track. No matter what they race, they could race, Cavaliers on it or something. I would still watch it because it's freaking Bristol, So, now we go into our picks for the weekend. So, Brian, who is your pick for the weekend?
My pick is a JGR car because I am not original.
What? What?
No, so
What?
I mean, we've seen the past two races. They've all been really good. Um, it's been, I mean, they've come straight out of the gate and blown us away for the playoffs. So, Kyle Busch
Wow.
took your pick from last week.
Wow. Just okay. So I mean, I gotta go Kurt. No, I'm kidding. That would be so funny if like I pulled out a graphic and it just says Bristol and just me and you switched. They would be like,
That
"What?"
would be kind of funny.
It would be like, "What the fuck?" But no, I'm not picking Kurt Busch. I'm picking another Chevy driver. No, I'm changing it up. I'm picking a Ford driver. I called it out early in the season that he would get this win. So Michael McDowell. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, Michael McDowell. I'm not picking you. I hope he has a good race, but I don't think he can pull something out of his ass. If he did, that would be insane because it would be a lot to talk about on Wednesday. But
Right.
no, I'm picking Kyle Larson. So the Kyle and Kyle show.
Yeah, the Kyle battle this weekend.
Mm-hmm. So I'm taking Kyle Larson. Has been a man on a mission this year. You know, hasn't shown quite the speed. Well, I mean, he was second in
I mean,
Darlington.
he's still up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like, I think he's already advanced in, to be honest.
He is. Yeah, he's 90 points in. There's no way.
Yeah, so I'm picking Kyle Larson. I think he'll get it at Bristol, especially in the Hendrick car. So
Hey, you never know. He really could. I mean, this could be his weekend for his win, or it could be the weekend for Michael McDowell to win, for all we know.
no, see, I just hope Kyle Larson just uses the pointy end of the Camaro and just takes Kyle Busch right out. Just Kyle Busch is more of a threat to your championship than anyone else. So just take him out real quick. We don't need him. Just take him out, Kyle Larson. So then I can also win the championship battle me and Brian is going through. So
And then you hear that Kyle Larson fails tech and then doesn't even start the race because his engine has a problem.
well, I mean that's good. I hope he fails tech. Please fail tech, Kyle Larson. I mean every race he's won, he's failed tech. So
Yeah.
I mean I just expect on whatever race day it is, I just expect a Bob Pockrass tweet to be the 5 or the 9 car to be going to the back because they failed tech. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
they got something.
Yep.
I always find it funny, it would be the 5 or 9 car, and then maybe sometimes the 24 car. I wonder what Bowman or anyone else thinks. It's what the I didn't get the fucking notes this week. I didn't know we were cheating. Why did I get the cheat codes? Why am I the good car? And they're like, Alex, you go first. We got some shit cheated up in here. You gotta go first. You're the test dummy. Oh, you passed. Okay, good job. Good job, Greg. Good job, Greg and Alex. Maybe that's why they haven't been that consistent this year. We gotta fail more tech, Greg. I'm gonna tweet Greg Ives that. I'm you guys gotta fail more tech. To be more consistent this year.
They said you got Dover, and that's good enough.
Yeah, I'll tweet at him. I'll be you better fail tech on Saturday, or we have no shot. We're gonna run 12th all day. No, I want you to fail tech. Put something wild in that car, Greg. You better. I just tweet at him before the race, he passes. I'll be no, terrible job, awful.
Terrible job.
Yeah, I guess that's our cue to sign off. So that's been another week of going over some races. Brian's dog is hyped for Bristol. If you're not as hyped as Brian's dog was in the background, I don't even know who are you. Do you even like NASCAR? Because if you don't, watch something else, dude.
Right.
Yeah, this has been another episode of Racing Bros NASCAR podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you guys don't know, we have partnered with Instacart. So Instacart makes your life easy. Order all your groceries on the app. If you use our link, you can get some things off, like 10% off your first order or free delivery. And yeah, just use our link. We are partnered with them, so we are gracious that they are our partner for Racing Bros Podcast. And thank you guys for listening and watching as well. We couldn't have done it or gotten this far without you. We are in the home stretch of kind of the season now. I mean, it's round 16, but final race round 16. Then we'll be talking round of 12 and what happened and all the stuff that happened at Bristol. So I can't wait for that. Thank you guys again. Cannot do it without you. Follow us on the social media platforms. Just look up Racing Bros Podcast, Racing Bros NASCAR Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Find us pretty easy there. And then you can look at our personal, see what we post. Be like, ooh, Brian posts a lot about cheese.
About cheese.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just hungry. So I'm going to go eat dinner.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. So we'll talk to you guys next week. So see y'all.
Take care.